Hello. This is your girl, your Diva Sasha, coming into you live for another episode of Night Talks with Sasha. So, tonight, let's talk about it. First of all, this show was going to be done in January. If you're on my social media anywhere, you've probably seen my post. But if you're not, I'll give you a small synopsis, a quick shot of what happened. Show is going to air January the 27th. It was going to be my first show back. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I do this for my bae. I want to get this show. I want this to be what I stand on and let everyone know that even though that he's not here anymore, that the show will go on. Excuse me for the pun. But so it just, everything that could have went wrong in that time, that night, went wrong. On top of the fact that I was sick, had a sinus infection, could barely talk, sounded horrible, could not get this sexiness that is Sasha. Couldn't bring that for you. So just a lot of stuff went wrong. Put it on the back burner, tried again, licked my wounds, like yelled and screamed, cried a little bit. I was so embarrassed. But then, a couple of friends, my co-hostess, she was like, hey, you're going to get this. You're going to do it. Don't worry about it. We're going to come back. And I hope that you listen to the show February the 12th. I went full force into that show, getting everything together for it, making sure that was the best showing of Sasha and Night Talks with Sasha and Sasha Certifiable Diva, along with my co-hostess, Mrz Swing. And it was good. So, here we are. Some other personal shit has went on, but that's for a later time. Tonight is about Maxx Rice. So, I hope that you come on this journey with us. Find out a little bit about Maxx Rice. You may not know him as Maxx Rice. A lot of people knew him as Michael. I got to call him both. And a few other things. So you're going to get a little piece of that while we honor him, who he was, and what he was to us. So I'm going to bring in Swing. And she's going to... Hey, Swing, you there, Mama?
I'm right here.
All right. So... tonight is the night. You ready? You good? You good?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Okay, great. A lot of people, you and Maxx worked together. How long did you do your show with Maxx?
It was probably about 3 years. Maybe.
Yeah,
roughly 3 years. He hit me up on, I think, either Facebook. No, he hit me up on Twitter, I think, and asked me about an interview because I was just coming out of this Swing Domino, on Twitter and everything. And he asked me if I wanted to do the show, and I was like really excited to do the show, even though I didn't get paid. I'm like, I don't care. I need the exposure.
Yeah.
So he hit me up. We got everything together. He was very professional. He wasn't rude. He wasn't nasty or anything like that. So we talked about everything. We kept in touch. We did the show, and the show turned out really great. And a little while after that, he hit me up again and asked me that I want to co-host a show with him. And I was like, really? No, he wanted to do a show with me. And so he kept with me. We kept doing shows. And, you know, we went through hardships together of getting people to do the show. So he never gave up. That was the best part about me, you know, about him as that, the fact that he never gave up. He always had hope for the shows and, you know, try to get people there and try to encourage people to be there, which is very rare. If you have someone, well, for me anyway, it's very rare to have someone who's focused on business and building things up without wanting anything in return. So we had a great working relationship. We had a great personal relationship. We, you know, got on to each other when we didn't hear from each other all the time. And then I learned about his love for you and his dedication to you. And, you know, it was great. You know, just being his friend was great. And being his co-host was great. I mean, it was a great relationship that I wish could have gone further.
Yeah, that's true. That's how we met. Because we actually, let me get our other guests in, and then we'll get right into everything. Good evening, Beauty.
Good evening.
How are you this evening, love?
I am actually doing very well. I have a little bit of a sinus issue going on, so my voice is a little bit raspy tonight, but I am here.
Okay.
I'm excited to be
Everyone
here.
has a sinus infection.
Yeah. It's the weather.
Yeah, it is.
And our brother has one right now. He sounds like Chewbacca.
Oh boy.
Lord.
Yes.
He's bad, then. He's real bad.
Yeah, he's a college professor too, and he sounds horrible.
Oh. Well, we're going to, and Beauty, you know, jump in whenever you want to. Let me ask you, when did you meet Maxx Rice?
Oh my goodness. Actually, it was probably close to 18 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we knew each other for a very long time. We weren't very close friends, but we were friends that, you know, when we did get in touch with each other, the conversation was always great. He always had great ideas for his shows and the shows that he was going to, and he was very creative, very creative man, very funny. And I did actually get to do a show with him more recently in the last, I think it's been in the last year. A little over a year now. It was before he passed, of course. But I was on the show one time, and we just talked so much that he said he was going to have to edit the show down because we would always laugh and just talk about random stuff. And he was always coming up with new business ideas, and did I want to help him out with this and help him out with that. And then, of course, we talked about you, and he just was a wonderful person with a great spirit.
He was.
Very.
We met in 2012. And actually, Beauty, you, he, and I did a show together. I think it was like 2013, somewhere around in there.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah, we did. Because I took over for his co-host he had, G-Man. You remember G-Man?
I do. Him. He was so funny.
Yeah. I took over.
We were so freaking funny together.
They were hilarious together. He couldn't get in. He and G-Man, you know, he said, we need a woman on the show. That's what he said. He's like, we need a woman on the show. I'm like, oh, okay. What kind of show? Because I had never heard of internet radio. And he asked me to co-host with him, and that's how I got into it. I did my first show. I remember the first show that we did. We interviewed Supreme Diva. I remember that. And
wow.
She was talking about ass and her hips were in the World Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow.
And I was like,
that's something.
Yeah, and I was like, she lying. And I forgot that I was on air, because I wasn't used to it. I was like, I just said it like real low and it picked it up. And he was like, nah, she ain't lying. He just busted me out. He was like, nah, she ain't lying. It's really in there. And she got mad.
Her must have been deadly.
Yeah.
Word.
And she was. It didn't take anything for her to get mad. Cause,
what a great interjection to.
Yeah, her and Maxx had been friends. Like, she had been coming on the show for a while, and then he said, because y'all know how he was. He was a Gemini all the way.
Mm.
And he had that other side of him, and I nicknamed it Mr. Asshole. I did. And he took it and he ran with it, and he was like, I like that. You thinking you saying something to somebody and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm acting like an asshole? I didn't realize that, babe. I'm sorry. Maxx Rice? I like that. I'm gonna start using that. Miss, I'm gonna add that to the rest of my name. The Blk Dr. Feel. Maxx Rice. And then the porn pusher. I'm like, porn pusher? Yeah, I'm going to add that. So neighborhood, then I added the neighborhood porn pusher. And he was like, the neighborhood? I'm like, yeah, you pushing porn around the neighborhood. And he was like, I like that. You're good. And so a lot of the stuff that a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to tell, a lot of the stuff that he started doing, I don't know if y'all ever noticed it, but the way that his promos and the wording and how it was, the little catchphrases and things like that, that was me.
All right.
I would write a lot of his stuff. And he's like, you want me to tell everybody? I'm like, no, baby, I don't need that, because I was happy to help him. That he wanted, that he took my advice, that he was receptive of what I said, because I'm like, you've been doing this forever. But, yeah, that was the first show that we did, was in 2012, and it was Supreme Diva. And I co-hosted for about a year and a half, almost. And then I told him, I said, I want to do my own show. And he was like, okay, go ahead. But now we were just friends then, because he was in Connecticut and I'm in Georgia. And I was like, I don't do long distance relationships. And he was like, yeah, that's a little too far. I was like, I agree. It's a little too far. So yeah, that's how we met. That's not how we got together, but that's how we met. Like, well, I'll just be your friend. He was like, okay. I like friends. I have a lot of friends. I'm like, okay, good. So that was that. But you're right. He was so creative, and and a charmer. He was so charming. Do y'all remember Christy Love?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. They used to have this beef with each other.
She had a beef with a lot of people.
Yes, I know.
She was a very powerful woman, and she was very hard to get close to.
Okay.
She was. Well, in the
she had
later
a powerful
years,
personality.
yeah, in the later years before she passed away, her and Maxx Rice were like peas in a pod, y'all. They were the best of friends. They were.
And once you break the outer shell, you can get in there. That's why you really got to understand people. People are assholes for a reason.
Yep,
wow.
Exactly. And she would come, she started doing little segments on the show, and then there was around the time that she was on YouTube, and she would do she was doing her YouTube show, and he encouraged her to do it. A lot of people don't know that, but he did. He encouraged her. He told her, you got a lot to say. You got a lot to say. You should be on YouTube, And she came on the show once and said, well, thank you, Maxx. You really helped me. I didn't used to like your ass. He was like, yeah, I know. That's what a lot of people say. Then it's my charm. And, and like before, like when she passed away, he was like, he was really sad, when she passed away. And he was like, man. I was like, what's wrong, Christy? You remember my friend Christy Love? I'm like, yeah, she passed away. I'm like, I'm sorry. He took it really hard.
I had just seen her show and then found out she passed.
Yeah, because she was on.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, she was doing a reality
show.
Yeah, she just got.
And they tried to put her down. She didn't even let that happen. Yeah, she shot that bitch in her tracks. I'm not unhappy.
Yes.
You can't make me unhappy about how I look. I'm happy about how I look.
Yep. Yep. And
you're gonna have a heart attack. You're gonna this, and I'll be happy.
Yep. We even saw when she went on what's that show? The Double Divas, about the women that did the bras and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Christy was on that show. She came to BBW Adult Radio and talked about her time about being on there. It was another woman that was on that show. Her name was Norma something, and she was in the World Guinness Records for having the largest bosom.
Oof.
Okay.
And Maxx knew her. He was like, oh, we were watching the show, and I was like, you gotta see this woman. She has the largest, like her bosom. She had a big wallet. She had a full-size wallet and a bottle down in her bra, and you could not even tell. And he looked at her. Yes.
If she's on Facebook sometimes, she's shoving shit before she goes to the club into her bra, under her tits. I mean, she could fit like everything up in that motherfucker. Oh, like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Maxx saw her, and he was like, oh, that's Norma. Yeah, yeah. That's what he said. He said just like that. That's Norma. Yeah, she do shit like that. And, just like, matter of fact, yeah, that's Norma. She do shit like that all the time. Yeah. They must have paid her. She don't go a lot of places unless she get her money first.
And all this time at BBW Con that I kept missing going to BBW Con.
Yeah. She was there too.
I missed out on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He wanted me to get a booth at BBW Con, but I just couldn't do it.
Yep, he did.
I missed
went
out on
there.
that opportunity.
Yeah, he went there. He went to the BBW Con a couple of times, and then he even went to the AVNs once or twice.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
I missed the
Okay.
BB. He was trying to get me to go to BBW Con every time, but I'm like, I just can't be in there all day long with people, and nobody knows me yet. But it's one of my regrets. I'm like, we'll go one day. And we're talking about BBW Cam House, which I missed out on as well. I had an interview with BBW Cam House, and we talked about it over and over again. Y'all, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it. I'm like, oh.
Yep. Yeah, he and even one of the guests that was supposed to be on here tonight, she was Sexy Mae. It used to be her and her friends, and her, they were, one was, Mae is a light, she looks white, but she's a black woman. And she had another friend, her best friend was a dark-skinned black woman. And they used to call themselves, I can't remember what they called themselves, Black and White or something like that. But they came on the show, and I kept calling them the wrong thing. I said, y'all should name yourself Black Mama, White Mama.
Yeah, they take offense.
Yeah. And he looked at me, and he was like, "Why you say that?"
Maybe none of this stuff was in studio.
It was on the air.
Yeah, even that they went in the studio with you. A fight just broke out.
Right.
Yeah. They were not happy. But I thought it was a good name because, there was a movie called Black Mama, White Mama with Pam Grier.
Wow.
I just thought it was cute. I thought
They
it
did not
fit.
think of Pam Grier. They did not go for that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They did not go for it. They were like, what? Now, Mae, she was like, that might be a good idea. And then her friend, I think that friend's name was, her real name was Sarah something. Can't remember. But they've both had weight loss surgery, and then I remember when that trend started, and Maxx was like, well, that's the end of the BBW reign. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, hell, everybody losing weight. How you gonna have BBW if all the BBWs are losing weight? I'm like, well, maybe they doing it for their health. They ain't doing it for their damn health. They doing it because they want to get more money.
He was adamant about that.
He was offended.
I can picture him
I
saying
mentioned
that.
weight loss surgery for my health before, and he was like, never mind. I just think you do it.
Mhm. And I did the same thing. I would say
He get mad as fuck.
He would get mad. Like,
you don't give a damn if my knees break when I walk. You fired us the way you are.
yeah.
I can't walk no more. You're fired. Okay.
You all right?
Just push it through.
work.
Just push it through.
I can completely hear him saying that.
You'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, but I'm getting too big.
No, you're not. You're fine.
Yeah, if I wanted a skinny woman, I would have went and got me a skinny woman.
Well, there you have it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, really. But I'm trying to do this for my health.
But that's look, just don't do the 5. The thighs are the problem with me right now. That's the biggest issue. Don't lose your thighs. What am I supposed to do then? Just lose everything else but?
Yeah.
Like, no. My thighs are killing me. That's my least favorite part of me.
My stomach, my stomach is getting too big. It's okay. As long as I love it,
I carry it for you.
It doesn't matter.
I give you a special bag for it. Carry it for you.
Yeah.
That's one thing. He was a dedicated BBW lover. Definitely.
Yes, and those are the hardest women. Like they catch 2 pounds going off. They got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And they watch it. They notice it. Like, you lost 3 pounds. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. My hands almost touch each other. What?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I went to an SSBW group one time to promote, and I was not big enough to be in that group, and they made sure I knew it. I'm like, well, damn.
Get out of here.
I'm fat as hell. You're not an SSBW. Yes, they told me I needed real leave. Now, it needs to be in there. I put in a picture of my face and everything.
What?
No business, lady. We just like the body. We like the body too, to go with the fact. You just are big enough. If I can put my whole arm around you, my finger touch, you're not big enough. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. Yeah. I ain't getting no right for none of my business. I just excuse myself in this group.
I can believe it.
I was embarrassed and proud at the same time.
I know, right?
I ain't know what you want to be happy about or upset about. I'm like, I'm just happy and proud at the same time. I'm fat as hell, but not fat as hell here. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you for clarifying that with me.
My thighs ain't walking around each other. That's okay.
You ain't getting no sparks when you walk in corduroys. You ain't getting them feet up. Man, help me realize that my thighs ain't starting fire, so I'm still good.
Yep.
If I can still see my pinky toe, I'm still good.
If I can reach down and touch my feet, I'm
without passing out, you're still good.
Yep.
If your pinky toe can touch one of your ankles, you're still good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but they don't want to see none of that.
I'll never.
If you're not out of breath coming from the bathroom, you're not big enough.
Yeah. I never forget we had a feeder, a eater on the show.
I will never ever date one of them motherfuckers.
Girl, I was sitting there listening to this woman, and he kept looking over at me. He was like, his hand would go on my chin, like, close your mouth.
Hey, what the fuck you looking at? No, sir, no. You ain't gonna feed me in my sleep.
Right.
Wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom with a funnel in your mouth. No. Just keep on drinking this. No. And then they have to eat real slow on camera so that you can watch them eat all that. I said, I would never do a foodie video. No. I'd be had a stroke in the middle of it.
No.
They want you to drink Crisco. Here, let's talk about this Crisco. Just put your finger in there, put it in your mouth. No.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
And then what got me about this particular show, this woman on there, she was an eater, but her feeder, he had broke up with her, but he was still feeding her.
That's what they really in that shit for. Fetish people are the best people in the world to have as a fan. Because a fetish, they don't care as long as they get to see you do that fetish. They don't care. If you angry with them, you still beat their ass on Tuesdays because they order that session.
You're right.
All the animosity is gone as long as they get their fetish.
You're absolutely right.
Well, ladies, I have learned something this evening.
As long as he can stick a raw sausage in her mouth, he all right.
He didn't have her eating raw food as of yet. I don't know.
I'm surprised.
No.
Lick the frosting real slow.
Yeah, and he had her doing shit like that. And I'm just like, are you serious?
I guess you still have to be healthy to do that a little bit.
Yeah, because she was
like, lady, she was on the beginning.
Yeah. This girl was too. This young lady was too. She was like,
start at size 20 and go up.
Yeah.
And they want to watch you gain weight. They want to watch you get on that scale and weigh more and more every day. I can't do that.
Really?
That's one fetish I will not do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one fetish I will not do.
Yes. It's amazing, Beauty, how the feeders and eater shit goes. It's
And normally they're very
sounds like
skinny.
too much work.
Yeah, it is, because you got to eat all day. You eat a whole big ass plate of all day, eat a whole pizza in one setting, and just eat stuff on camera. Turn the camera on to start eating stuff and drinking stuff. It's just too much. That's I could never. I'll do foot fetish all day, but I cannot do booty fetish. Stomach fetish is fine, but not the foodie stuff. They want you to eat everything.
everything. And they have no problem going to get it for you.
Nope, they'll feed you all day. They'll buy you all the food you want. Your bills need to be paid. They will pay for your life not to get cut off so they can watch you eat this food.
I had heard it was a fetish.
It is a fetish.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I knew it was a fetish,
every part of your body is a fetish.
Yeah, but I just never thought it was that heavy. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
On both ends. That's a lot of work.
Yep.
They are very...
You think it's easy because it's just eating, but no, it's not. All fetishes are hard work. Because they want to see them all day long.
A feeder, that's what they'll, like, if you get to the point where you can't physically do anything for yourself, that feeder will take on that responsibility of taking care of you as long as you are still eating.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of big girls get tricked into relationships with guys who like to watch them gain weight and like to go out to eat and like to take them out to eat and watch them eat stuff. They don't even realize that until it's too late, until they try to lose weight or something like be healthy or whatever. Then they realize that they're in a fetish relationship without knowing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got to look for the signs. I tell all the women that get Maxx do shows and stuff, you have to look for the signs to see if you're in a real relationship or not.
Yep.
Wow.
Because you're wondering, why we only eat when we go places? No reason.
Oh, baby, I just like to
trying to watch a movie and they got a Snicker bar in your mouth. Like, this is a Snicker bar while you're watching the movie.
And then they'll get shit like, the king size candy and shit like that. Yeah.
And then it's finally, if you lose weight, we breaking up. If you get in small, we breaking up. I ain't want no big woman. I ain't want no small woman. I ain't want no this. Yeah, they'll break up with them. And you're like, I was in a relationship with a fetish man and didn't even know that shit.
So you literally cannot lose weight or they'll break up with you.
Nope. They will leave you.
They will leave you.
Wow. Save your life. You better lose weight. You better get the fuck out of that relationship.
Amen.
Yeah, and you have to definitely be careful with that, And one thing I can say about Maxx, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong or right, but he was dedicated. He was a dedicated BBW lover and a SF BBW lover, but he never wanted anyone to necessarily do something that they weren't comfortable with.
Yeah. He never did. He never tried to force you or insinuate, none of that.
No, and he would talk it through with you first anyways.
Yeah.
He was a very good talker.
He was a patient person because I could not learn how to do that shit. But he was like, you gotta do one show by yourself one of these days. I'm like, I keep talking you through it. I talk you through it as many times. I'm like, you're gonna have to, because I'm a mess with that shit. But I could really see us in our future being on serious radio, because you get to say whatever you want to say. Then the biggest thing we do in that show is I could be myself, because I talk a lot of shit. And I will say anything. And that's if the moment he told me I could be as free as I wanted to and not have to say, all right, I'm in. Okay, I'm in. Because I hold back a lot of shit every day. So it was a very fun experience.
It is. And I've learned, he taught me a lot. And not only, and you know, Beauty, and you speak about the different businesses. Okay, well, we had a travel business together, you know, and so now I am a travel agent, you know, because he's like, well, you should do this, and you'll be good at this, and you'll be good at that. I'm like, okay. And so then I went on and got my travel agent certification, and I got my IATA number. He did all the work he needed to do to get his IATA number, which is for travel agents, you know, your number in order for you to get commissions yourself. And that's what the IATA number is. So it's like you put that number in, that's your number. You don't have to go through Expedia or any of these other places to a third party in order to book and get paid. You get paid straight commissions for yourself, and that's what we were doing. And so it took him about 6 months to get all of the information and do everything that they required him to do to get his IATA number. And whew, he was working. And that was like a lot of times people didn't see the work that went into doing all of these businesses and all this stuff that Maxx did. But, you know, it was a lot of work to get these shows.
Yeah, he was a hustler. He was always into making money.
Hustling.
He was always trying to make money. And encouraging you to do the same. Whatever
I was just going to say that.
You do this too.
Yep.
Very encouraging. Very encouraging.
And he was not afraid to show, and he was not afraid to show you how to go about doing it. Because, you know, some people get into stuff and they're like, I ain't telling my secret, you know, but he never did that. Never.
Mm-hmm. And the most like BBW models, you ask them where'd you get that outfit from. They're not going to tell you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to tell you no secrets. They're not going to tell you how they did this video. They're not going to tell you nothing because it's competition. I'm like, why? You ask Max how to do something, how he did this. I'll tell you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And he even did that once. One time we did a show, and it was about exposing. It was like pulling the curtain from behind the BBW lens. You know, the photo shoots and shit like that. And he was telling all the secrets. And boy, them women was mad as hell. They was mad.
I'm like, why the fuck? Why?
They were mad.
But they rude as hell.
Yeah,
and
they were
the competition they rip you to shreds about.
Yep. And
that's why I never knew any of them. I was never friends with any of them.
No. And he was like, if you want to do this, and if you're trying, people don't want to pay you your money, well, you don't need to get no dude to go with you. Get your contracts beforehand. Learn how to read. And he was dropping all this shit, like, and at the end of that show, I mean, Christy Love was mad, Supreme Diva was mad. All those names at that time, they were mad at him, except for Daphne Daniels. Daphne Daniels took Max's advice. Everything that he said to do, she went and did it. And she was getting paid. And then they couldn't understand why Daphne Daniels was still out here making
she was fucking smart.
Yeah.
We did a show about that, together too, about, dudes that don't know how to sit there. I would never in my life do some shit without having a contract before. They can tell you whatever they want to tell you once you get there. Do not do shit without signing some papers. Do not tell somebody to get a slave. They want to be a slave. Do not do that without making a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what's going to happen. You may not get paid. Because when I was young, I used to go with my when I first started modeling, my ex used to come to the photo shoot, which is another different sign. When you walk in there by yourself, they're different. But when your man walks in there, it's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
They're respectful. Mm-hmm. But that's why you need to get a contract signed before you even do any of that.
Yep. Yeah. He was.
A lot of girls, they're hungry. When you're hungry and when you're starving for money, you'll fall into any trap.
Yep.
Any tiger trap. Bam, you fall into that shit because you're hungry. But when they say you're not hungry and you speak like you're not hungry, it's a different story.
A lot of people didn't understand where he was. He wasn't trying to shame anybody. He was letting people know, you fucking up the game. That's why the BBW, the videos and the models and shit, y'all not getting paid because there are too many women out here sucking dick for $20. That was him. Getting $20. You sucking dick for $20. You're dancing. You going supposed to dance, and then instead of getting your money, you getting fucked. No, that's why
so you getting your money and getting fucked, and not getting paid for getting fucked. But you getting paid for that dancing, that 30 minutes of dancing that you did. But you didn't get paid for that fuck. You always gonna get fucked. Like I'm a masseuse. I'm a professional masseuse. They don't want to fuck you. Mm-hmm. You don't fuck them for free, but you only got $40 for that massage. And maybe you didn't even get that massage because you basking in the afterglow of that dick, and they walk out your house, you ain't even been paid. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why would you not get paid half first? So if they do try to skip out on your ass, you still got some money. But no, they'll do all that because, and they let them come to their house. Do this and do shit in your house. Do not let them motherfuckers come to your house or know where you live. Exactly. That's asking for it. But no, they let them come to their house. You went all that shit. They gotta know.
Yep. Yeah, I mean.
And the only ones who get mad are the ones who do that stupid shit.
Exactly. And the ones that would, that had so much mouth and had so much to say, you mad now because there was the shit you was doing, and then you can't figure out why the hell you ain't getting paid now. Yeah. So
once you got a reputation, you don't get a reputation.
And a lot of them got those reputations of being hard to work with and thinking that you are a diva, going on set. But you ain't making that kind of money. Like, you going on a set trying to figure out, tell people what to do and how to do and shit like that. But you ain't making that kind of money where you got the ability to do that. Sometimes, and he would be like, sometimes you got to humble your damn self. I used to love for him to go on a tangent.
And then once you did, you got to make sure you're doing all this shit. Oh, Victoria called.
Okay.
Miss JigglyPuff trying to get in.
Okay, thank you. I was just about to click on that, see who that was. Miss JigglyPuff, that's you?
This is me.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, lady, I miss you.
Hey, ladies. Hey, sweet ladies. How y'all doing?
This she want Max had to fuss at us all the time because we kept laughing too much in front of the show. So we got the same damn personality.
We were talking about Maxx and him talking about people in the BBW world, in the movies and the videos and the models, and how he was trying to help. How he was trying to help.
How did you meet Maxx?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
How did I meet him?
Yeah, how did you
I can't remember.
He used to hit me up, and I guess he used to see the things that I used to put about BBWs, and I think he met me in a theater group. Okay. And that's how he and I guess he wanted to talk to me more because when he first met me, when he first talked to me, he was asking me about theaterism and theaties and stuff like that. So he wanted to interview me and put me on about that. So then after that, he started conversating with me and wanted me to talk more, and then started putting me on from time to time on his show, on a talk show on the radio. So that's how I met him.
Okay.
He was a go-getter.
He was.
Huh?
So he was a real go-getter.
He was.
Yes, he was. Because when I first, I didn't even know what happened to him, because the last time I talked to him, he's supposed to be sending me something. And so I was like, well, okay. I was like, maybe it'll take a little while. I was like, he hit me up. So I hit him up one time. I said, hey, stranger, how you doing? So he ain't hit me up. I was like, he must not be on right now. So then, time went by, and I was like, well, dog, I ain't heard from my friend in a while. So then that's when Erica hit me up. She was like, yeah, you heard. Have you heard? I said, no, heard about what? She was like, Maxx passed. I said, what? She was like, yeah. I said, no, I didn't. No, I said, I was wondering why I never heard from him. Because from time to time, he hit me up, how you doing, how your feederism's doing, or how you doing with this, what you doing with the BBWs. I said, I'm doing good. He shoot me a line, and that was, like checking on me like from time to time. But,
yeah,
I knew COVID was going around, but I didn't know, if he stopped being on social media or what was going on.
Yeah. So what happened with that was, guys, it happened really quickly.
Yeah.
We there's a lot going on at the time when Maxx got sick. In October, I found out that I had stage 4 breast cancer, and the cancer had metastasized to my bones and to my liver. And we were just in shock, y'all. We were just, we just, I had been sick for a while, and we didn't know, most of 2021, I had been sick, and we didn't know what was going on. And to find out that I had cancer, it just really shocked us. So we went through the holidays, and in January of 2022, I had to go to have my first round of chemo at Emory Hospital in Atlanta. It was January the 6th. I remember it was a Thursday. And I had chemo that day, and it took about 12 hours because they just basically flooded my body with chemo. So it took 12 hours, and I had some I had some adverse reactions, and then they had to stop it, slow it down. So it just took a long time. And we stayed over in Atlanta that Thursday night and came home that Friday, and we got sick. I got sick first. And at first I thought it was the chemo. That weekend, I started vomiting. It was hot, but I'm like, they just flooded my body with chemo. Saturday, then by Sunday, I had a fever, and Maxx got sick too. And he, I know I'm saying this real slow. It's just hard, y'all. It's still very hard. It's been a year, but it's still.
Take your time.
We're listening.
Take your time.
Keep going.
It's still really hard. But that Sunday, he got a fever, and he started having chills, and he said, something's wrong. And I was like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm doing what you was doing. And a lot of people didn't know. I ain't calling him Max. He was Michael to me. Michael was a type 1 diabetic. And at the age of 21, Michael had a kidney transplant. And he was on anti-rejection medication since he was 21 years old for his kidney. A lot of people didn't know. He didn't talk about it. But, those that knew him personally knew. And when he said that he was sick and he had a fever, automatically my antenna went up and I was like, baby, you need to go to the hospital. And he's like, I'm okay. I'll be all right. I'm like, no, you need to go to the hospital. And he was really, us finding out that I had cancer, he was scared. He was really scared, especially knowing that it was bone cancer, and it was in my bones, and it was in my liver. He was really frightened for me. And he didn't want to leave me. And, well, you go with me. I'm like, no, baby, you go. I'll be okay. So he went I called 911, and he went in the ambulance, and they took him to the hospital, and he was there for like 24 hours. The next day, Monday, and he called me, and he said, babe, I got COVID. What? And, Michael was very careful when it came to COVID. When they said that COVID, how you can catch it, and Mike became vigilant. He was like, okay, we got to get some masks, hand sanitizer, and, he would go out and he would double mask. And I do believe that I got it, and I gave it to him. So that's a whole nother level of survivor's guilt.
No, it's so easy to catch. Nuh-uh.
Well, I know, but I still felt it, Swing. And I still do sometimes. I ain't even going to lie. Sometimes I still feel it. But I know he doesn't blame me. And I know it wasn't my fault. But, hell, you can't help. And I hate being vulnerable like this, but that's what happened. And from January, Michael went back and forth to the hospital like 3 times. He came home. He came home once, and I had he wasn't good. He wasn't good. I'm like, no, baby, you gotta go back to the hospital. So I got him back to the hospital. And at the time, COVID was so bad, I couldn't go with him. And I couldn't do nothing. I was so sick, y'all. Like, my back was so messed up from the lesions of the cancer. I couldn't even bend down. I could barely walk. Oh, let me take that back. I could hardly walk at all. Barely. I couldn't stand up. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even drive because I couldn't get in a car. Then he went and he came back home. He came home and he was on oxygen. And he just kept sleeping so much. And I'm like, baby, you gotta wake up. You gotta eat. You gotta drink something, Michael. And his sugar was astronomically high. Because then his body was fighting. He fought so hard. He tried to come home.
I know he did.
But he went to the hospital the last time toward the end of the month of January. And every time he went to the hospital, they wound up putting him in ICU on they would sedate him and put him on an insulin drip because his sugar, like one time he went in and his sugar was like 700. So they put him on an insulin drip and they sedated him, and he was in ICU for like a week. And every time he went to the hospital, he would wind up in ICU on the insulin drip and sedated. Then they pulled him out of sedation, and he went to a room. But this last time, the COVID had just destroyed his lungs. And he was still in ICU. And they had him on free-flowing oxygen. I mean, it was just like... It didn't even, usually when they have you on oxygen, they set it on the number. And they was like, okay, we're going to put it on 2 or 3 or 4. They just had him on free-flowing oxygen because he couldn't get any air. You know, he couldn't breathe on room air, and his saturation level would just plummet, and he couldn't breathe. So they put him on, they called me and his mom, and they had to put him on a ventilator. And they put him on a ventilator. I knew it wasn't good. But I didn't give up on him. Couldn't. I kept praying for him. Kept talking to him. Come on, baby. Just fight. Okay. And Michael had a heart attack. And they lost him. His heart stopped beating. And he kept crashing. And they needed to get consent from me to take him to the heart cath lab. They thought, you know, it was a blockage, and they did a heart cath on him, and they thought, you know, maybe that would keep him stable, and he would stop crashing. And he did for a little while, and but Mike had already started the process of dying. and he went down so many times, he crashed so many times that, even if he had have lived, we don't know if he would have been a vegetable or what type of life he would have had.
Yeah.
So, that was a Sunday night. Early Monday morning. And at the hospital, they were like, come and see him. Do you want to see him? And I knew then that my baby was dying. And I got there about 2:30 that morning. They brought me in because they still wouldn't let the hospital was still closed to visitors and stuff. But because he was dying, and I called there every day, and I would talk to the nurses, and I would see how he was doing. And I couldn't talk to him because he was sedated and he was on a ventilator. And I told them, when you go in his room, just rub his arm and tell him that Shalonda loves you. So one of the nurses that was there, she knew me from doing that, and she's like, I want you to come and see him. Can you come and see him? I want you to come and see him. So I got up, I got dressed, and I took myself to the hospital. And I sat there till about 6 o'clock that morning. By this time, his kidney was not functioning. He was having to go on dialysis. They couldn't even do dialysis on him because his blood pressure was too high. His heart kept crashing. So I just sat there and I held his hand and I talked to him. And his mom called because Michael was from Connecticut. And he, my baby moved here for me. So, about 6 o'clock that morning, God said, it's done. He told me to leave. And so I packed up my little self and got back in my car, called his mom, I said, it doesn't look good. I don't think Michael's going to make it. And I made it home with the bed, and Mike died the next morning. His heart crashed again. He coded again. By this time that night, I told his mom that I couldn't make that call. If he crashed again as his wife, I couldn't make that call. Michael and I were married. We got married in 2016 because I had a cancer scare then. And I wanted him to be able to speak for me because I didn't really have anybody else. So we got married. And so I told his mom that I couldn't do it and that she would have to do it if to make that decision of him of not resuscitating him. Do not resuscitate, DNR. And she said, okay. So, when they called her and told her again that his heart had stopped, she made the decision not to let him go. And the hospital called me about 11:30 that morning and told me that the doctor said that, Mrs. Morgan, I'm sorry, that your husband passed away at 11:15 a.m. this morning. That's what happened.
And the good man gained his wings.
Huh?
He didn't pass. It was a good man who gained his wings into a better life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well, a painless life, because I'm pretty sure he had a good life with you. But he has a carefree and painless life now.
Yep.
He's not suffering.
That's right.
And I knew that whole time something was going on because I called Mike and asked him did he have COVID a while back. He was like, no, I don't have COVID. I'm all right, because I knew I hadn't heard from him. And next thing I know, my TV started messing up a month later. And then Shalonda called me and told me what happened. I'm like, I knew it. My TV was messed up. It kept going on and off, blinking on and off. So I knew something had happened. I just didn't know who. Until she called me, until she hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she told me, I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah, you did. You said he passed away, didn't he? And I tried to contact as many people as I could. His mom, had his body sent back to Bridgeport to be buried, and I was too sick to go. So I tried to contact as many people as I could to let them know, to say, hey, this is what happened, and just honestly, Michael and I did not exchange passcodes to our phones. It wasn't that we didn't trust each other, we just didn't need to. If he needed to answer my phone, he answered my phone, and vice versa. There were a lot of things that did not happen because it was very unexpected, and we had been fighting like hell because we were still self-quarantining, trying to keep him from getting sick. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. We didn't do anything because, if he said, if I get sick, if I get COVID, baby, I ain't gonna make it. And when he told me that, and I was like, well, we're gonna make sure you don't get COVID. We're gonna make sure you don't.
Talk about that topic a lot. That if he got COVID, we wasn't gonna make it. We used to talk about that shit a lot because he a high risk individual. That's why we were so careful.
Yep.
I was careful too, but I still caught COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Around in October.
You never know what you touch, what you breathe. Yeah, it's so hard. My doctor was at the front desk talking to the nurses, and my photographer got home and he was sick. And he was like, God damn, all I did was get a cup of coffee and talk to the nurse at the hospital. And you got it. It's like, it's crazy. How easy it is. I just didn't leave the house.
That's what happened with us. Like we weren't going anywhere. Like I was in the hospital in October for 3 weeks, and you know, we came home.
That's when I believe he was really raging in October. That's when I got mine in October, and I had to stay in the hospital for over about almost 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Now, people weren't taking it very seriously at first. They were not taking COVID seriously at all. So
I
think that's why a lot of the germs got spread, because they were not taking it seriously as other people were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got it
think
twice.
for yourself and others. Seriously?
Yeah.
What's the second part worse?
The second time was actually worse than the first, but the first happened in January when they just announced it, because I think it started in December. I got it in January, and then they didn't start actually talking about it until a couple of months later. But with all of the pain that I was in, after learning what the symptoms were, I knew that I had had it, and my husband had had it too. So it was not fun. It was not fun.
That's why I
wouldn't wish that on my enemy.
I was like, you don't got to be that scared. Yes, the fuck I do. I am an at-risk individual. I'm an at-risk individual. I know I have fibromyalgia too, which means I feel pain very easily. Man, I'd be fucked up.
Yeah. It's,
and I'm high risk also, so I understand.
It was during the time when that when the mutation Omicron. That was,
oh my God.
That was when we that's when we got it, during that time, and it was highly contagious. It was highly contagious. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot, y'all. But I'm here. I'm good.
I can't even imagine how you feel, but I do want to extend my thanks again for having me on the list of people that you called, because I didn't know what was happening either, and I do appreciate you for letting me know.
Oh, you're welcome.
And that's the worst part about it, man.
That, Beauty, I knew that you and Michael were really close. I didn't know y'all knew each other that long, but I knew that you two were very close. And, and I've always wanted to, I never wanted to be, even if I pass away, and I'm not saying it, but I have stage 4 cancer, y'all. And my cancer is active again in my bones, and so I just don't know. But I don't want it to just be put out on Facebook. I want someone, to say, okay, she talked to this person a lot, and she talked. So I'm writing that stuff down, and I'm putting that stuff, where it can be found. Call this person. Let this person know, before it's put out on Facebook or anywhere. Let this person know. Because I've lost 2 really, really close friends, and no one called me and said, hey, this is what's happening. I didn't know until I looked on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the worst part about COVID. You couldn't do the funerals, you couldn't go see people, and people died alone because if you were not a social person, you'll die. Nobody won't even know unless they just like really, really look for you hard because of COVID.
Yep. That's true.
That's why you have to try to keep your best to keep in touch with people, especially if you're not in the best of health, so that somebody will know and not know like 10, 20 years later that what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's why,
one of my relatives died. You couldn't go see him. You can't go to the hospital. Got to have them cremated. Can't do the funeral. Got to do this. I mean, it's like taking something away.
Yeah. It was very, it was very, very traumatic experience. My heart always ached for those people that I saw that had lost loved ones due to COVID, during COVID. It always touched me. I would cry, and you would be like, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "It's so sad. It's so sad that they died alone, and you had to talk to them over a phone, and it hurt my heart so bad."
And it also heightens anxiety a lot because if you haven't spoken to someone in I don't know how long, you were scared they died of COVID. I mean, it's like, what happened? Where were you? What's going on? Keep in touch. I mean, it's like this is the most important time to keep in touch, to make sure that nothing's happening to you. Because I have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And if I don't hear from y'all after the first 3 springs, I'm about to freak out.
Yeah. But he was, but Maxx was Michael, whichever one you want to call him. He was an honorary member of my book group. It's an all-female book group, but he can't, if I went to one of the events, well, when I went to the event, he would go with me, and he would sit there, and he would wait, and, all that stuff. And so the woman that runs the book group, Fonda, she said, when we have our first, what's that noise? Is that somebody washing dishes?
Yeah.
I can hear you. It's very loud.
I can hear you washing dishes.
Yeah. Can't do that because it's going to pick up. It's going to be very loud. I can hear you. So she made him an honorary Black Pearl, because he was because he was always at the events. And not only was he always at the events, but a lot of the times he would read, I'm reading the books, I'm listening to the audio books, and he would participate. He would have an opinion. So yeah, he was very fun. He had such a wicked sense of humor, but he could also be very literal. And so I had to be like, okay, babe, I didn't mean that literally. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, really, Michael? Really? Like, well, I didn't know. But he was so funny. And he loved to be entertained. So that was right up that Leo alley for me. I had the ability to entertain him on a regular basis, doing different things and practicing my stand-up. I was going to be I told him, I said, I want to be a stand-up comedian. And he was like, okay, go for it. Tell me a joke. Make me laugh. And so I would practice my jokes and my stand-up routine, and he would be like, oh, you're getting better. Yeah, you're doing good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that was a good one. That made me laugh. So we had a lot of fun together. He opened the world up to me a lot, and he taught me a lot of things. And I will forever be grateful for him coming into my world, coming into my life. And yeah, this is my bae. That's my bae. That's my bae. That's what I called him all the time, bae. He's like, Lord have mercy. What? Bae? What you doing? Sometimes he'd be on the phone with Swing, and Swing, I hear Swing say, "Who is that? Who's she calling?" Hey, she calling you? Yeah. Hey, damn. Yeah. Hey, where you at? So yeah, we had a lot of fun together. We lived a lifetime in almost 10 years. Like, people would see us, and like y'all said, he's very patient. He was the patient in our relationship, not me. He was the patient one. He had that. And he has his aunts. He has a couple of aunts, but he has one aunt that lives in Maryland. And she's deaf. And he don't play about Aunt Desi. Her name is Desiree. He does not play about Aunt Desi. He was very protective of his Aunt Desi. I can see why, because she's such a sweetheart. And he was so excited. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna go," because we went to Maryland for Christmas in 2019, and right after Christmas, a couple of days after Christmas. And he's like, Aunt Desi wants us to come to Maryland and stay with her till the New Year, and then we're gonna go on to Connecticut. I'm like, okay. And you're gonna love Aunt Desi. You're gonna love Aunt Desi. Da 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 da. Aunt Desi this. Aunt Desi this. Aunt Desi that. Da 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 da. And I'm like, and so he's like, she's gonna give you a nickname, and he was showing me sign language because he knew sign language. He was a chef. Y'all didn't know that, did you? No. Michael graduated culinary.
He claimed he was. Like, I don't know that.
Oh, girl, no. He could cook. Baby could cook. He could burn. Now, he was a really good cook. Now, when it came to baking, no. But when it came to cooking, yeah. Because he taught me how to fry chicken. I didn't know how to fry chicken. I was scared to fry chicken. Yeah. He taught me how to fry chicken. Yes.
So you did that sprinkle and run.
Okay, first time I'm saying it out loud. I don't know how to fry chicken either.
Yeah.
We need to do a live show.
Yeah.
On frying some chicken.
Yeah. He taught me how to fry chicken. What else did he teach me how when it came to cooking? Because I have this, I like eating meat, but I don't like touching meat. So it's a very weird thing. So I don't know. But yeah, he went to culinary school and he graduated. He when he had his kidney transplant, he like the kidney that he wound up getting was actually the second one, because the first one he missed because they didn't answer the phone, and he was in culinary school. So he had his kidney transplant, and he was around the time that he was getting ready to graduate, and he had to do, they make you do this test, and you have to run a whole restaurant, basically. And so he had to take the exams, and he said, my chef was like, no, you don't need to come in. You just had a kidney transplant, because he had to be basically quarantined for like 90 days or so. And so he was like, no, I paid too much money. And he was cheap. Oh, my baby was cheap. He was cheap, but not in a bad way, but he was definitely cheap. he did. He was like, and he went about 4 months after having a kidney transplant. He went and took his exams so that he could graduate on time from culinary school. So, yeah, he went to culinary school. He even went to broadcasting to do the radio. That's why he was so good at it.
That's how he got it.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to broadcasting. He played football in high school. Even though he was a type 1 diabetic, he played football. He was a very active young man. His aunt has pictures of him when he was a teenager, and oh my God, I want these pictures so bad, but she won't give them to me. She's like, I promised him I would never let anybody see him, but he had braids, y'all.
What?
Yeah.
Like a little face.
He had his hair braid. He used to wear his hair in braids. It would be braided back, and I'm like, wait, did you like?
Looking like he caused trouble,
right?
Yeah, he was a player back in the day. Was a player pimp. But yeah, I want that picture. There's a couple of pictures she had of him with his hair braided, and then he was like, I got to be 20 years old, and I was like, and then I cut all my hair off. He has some nice hair. I was like, what? But he's a mess. He was a mess. He was so fun to be around, though. Y'all know that. He was fun to be around. He really was. We had a special relationship, you know. I sometimes wish that we had met each other earlier in life, but you know, everything happens for a reason. I am still very much in love with my husband, and I don't hide that from anybody. There may be boys in my DM saying that I'm pretty, but they are not Michael. They are not my husband. And I don't care, you know, so it doesn't matter. I don't compare, but I know that no one ever treated me like he did. Like, they just won't. I just don't believe that serendipity happens like that twice, you know? So, but it's okay. I did get asked would I ever get married again, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't want to get married at all, but, you know, Mike changed my mind. He made me look at marriage. I enjoyed being married to him. I'll put it that way. I enjoyed being his wife. He was not one of those men, you got to cook and clean for me and da-da-da-da-da and all that. He wasn't that kind of man at all in marriage. He was, we had a partnership. You know, so we looked at each other as partners. It was a definite, special kind of love that we shared with each other. So, I will forever be grateful for that love, to have been to experience that love, that kind of love from a man. You know, you don't get that often where your husband prays over you, you know, and he prays for you, you pray for each other. So that was the kind of relationship that we had, and we fought, but you know, But we were never disrespectful to each other. Never. And it was always important to me that we never went to bed angry at each other. Now, he didn't always agree with it, but he went with it. You know, it's like, I'm still mad, but okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sleepy now. Can we make up? No, I'm still mad. But we have a rule, Mike.
Pretend you ain't.
Yeah, we this is the rule. I can't go to bed if we mad at each other. So, I'm tired now. So, well, I forgive you. Okay. Or I'm not mad at you anymore. Go to bed. I love you. I love you too. But I'm still mad. I'm gonna be mad tomorrow. I ain't gonna talk to you, okay? Okay. 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 All right. But I'm going to bed now. Yeah, okay. So, you know, we definitely have a lot in common. Had a lot in common.
That's beautiful.
It was a beautiful relationship. It was, yeah. And to think it almost never happened because he did not want to be in a long-term relationship with anybody because of his diabetes. Like he had been a type 1 diabetic since he was 3 years old. And unfortunately, Michael was going blind. And he did not want to be a burden on anyone or me. And so we almost didn't get together. He was like, I told him, I like you. I like you more than a friend. He was like, I'm not really looking for, I like you too, but I'm not really looking for anything like that. We can be friends, though.
He thought he was someone's burden, but he actually was your blessing.
Yep.
Mhm.
He was. And I was like, I have enough friends. I don't need any friends. So I'm just going to have to cut this off. And so we didn't talk for about almost 3 weeks. And out of the blue, he called me and he's like, so you really ain't going to talk to me no more, huh? No. Okay. And you want to come to Connecticut? I'm like, for what? See me. Okay. So that's how it happened. I was supposed to fly into New York to Connecticut, and meet him in New York, and then we were going to go on to Connecticut. Well, my country ass got scared because I had never flown before, and I couldn't get on the plane.
I can respect that. I can respect that fully.
So I called him. Well, he was like, he didn't have his phone, and he was traveling from Connecticut to New York, and he didn't have his phone on or something. He had a bad habit of that, y'all. Very bad. He would turn his phone off or put it on Do Not Disturb, and then the next day not put it back on, and it would just be off. Do not be on, and he wouldn't hear it ring. And I'm like, what the hell? You gotta stop that. So, but I called him. He was at the airport. He's like, where are you? Your plane is, and you're not here. Where are you? What happened? And I'm like, Michael, I was scared. What? I couldn't get on the plane. I was scared. So he was like, have you ever flown before? I'm like, no. Oh, damn. So he was in New York, he got a plane. He got a ticket, and he flew into Atlanta to get me. And then
Stop it.
No.
Wow.
He flew from New York to Atlanta to Georgia to get me. And we got on the plane together and went to New York and drove from New York to Connecticut. Mm-hmm. And that
was a determined man right there.
Yeah.
That was a determined man right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
that's called true love.
That submitted, that submitted our.
Once you find that person, you will stop at nothing.
Yeah.
She probably would have walked there if he could have.
Well.
Yeah, he did, and the way that he came to stay here in Georgia, like 2014, he came for Thanksgiving. He came for Thanksgiving, and he was going to leave and go back home. Well, he got here, and then Thanksgiving rolled into Christmas, and then Christmas rolled into New Year, and then New Year rolled into Valentine's Day, and then it was March, and then it was April, and I'm like, are you going home? Every month I would say, I thought you going home. Are you going home? I will, eventually. So when it got to be April, I said, so you just live here now? I mean, I can if you want me to. Okay.
You might as well.
And so he said,
I got used to seeing you now.
Yeah, so May, he finally went back. He called his mom. He's like, Ma, I got a girlfriend and I'm moving to Georgia. I said, what? I got a girlfriend.
About damn time.
No, she didn't say that. She was like, you doing
But
what?
I never hit any words.
I'm moving to Georgia. I mean, he had lived with someone before in Maryland, so it wasn't, But when he said Georgia, that was like, Georgia? And, yeah, that's how, and he said, I'm going to go home in May. He went home in May. He's like, I got to go home. I got to take care of some things. And I'll be back in July. And I'll be here permanently in July. And that was 2014, and he's been here ever since. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my bae. That was my bae. Yeah. That's how we got together. It was fun. It was good. Like I said, it was a good relationship. It was a very adult relationship, It was very adult. Compromising and sicknesses and health issues on both of our parts, and it was definitely a partnership. And that's what I tell people, you have to speak what you want and be what you want. If you want a partner, you want a partnership, then you have to do that. And you have to be willing to give that. And so if you can't and you don't, then you're not going to necessarily get it. And it has to be a discussion that you both have to have, expectations and wants, and definitely have to have that, be willing to compromise. Not give so much of yourself and get nothing in return, but a fair trade. And that's what we had. We we really took care of each other. And it was, and his mother, she and I are still in contact. We still talk to each other, check in on each other. And to have her to say to me, you know, thank you. And I was like, what are you thanking me for? She thanked me for taking care of her son. She said, you know, I loved how you and Michael took care of each other. I love that. Thank you for taking care of my son.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It touched me so much.
Yeah, that was beautiful of her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she'll
especially
always
for a mother of a son.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
She knew who her son was, and for somebody to accept him, you know, a lot of people probably look past him because of what he had, and for someone to accept someone, she knew that you was a genuine person, and that's why she thanked you for taking her son and loving him for who he was. That's the true meaning of loving someone for who they are.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the type of relationship y'all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving someone for who they are.
Exactly. And you know, he was a good man, and he made it easy. You know, we two. You know, we're two different people trying to make a life together, and of course there are moments where we had issues, but we loved each other enough and respected each other enough to move past, because we both said, this is it. Yeah, this is it. I ain't trying to look for nothing else. Trying to do nothing else. I done put in too much time and effort in you, woman. I ain't, hell. I'm done.
You done moved all the way to Georgia. You ain't getting rid of him.
No.
Well, you ain't going no damn way. You going forever. You may throw him out.
He wasn't going nowhere.
We gonna pretend we know everything about each other.
Exactly.
He already had made his bed before he officially moved in.
We ain't never over. If I go an hour,
he claimed you before y'all got together, so you ain't going nowhere.
I didn't want to go nowhere anyway. I sure didn't. I was funny. And my best friend, she always picks at me because she would say, when I first met you, and I was like, oh, who is that man? She said, you looked at me and you said, my husband. That's how you said it too, my husband. Oh, yeah, this my husband, Michael. I wasn't that bad, was I? Yes. But it's okay. It was cute. She's like, it's okay. It was cute. I was like, wow. Was I that bad? Girl, yes, honey. Yes. My husband. Well, I have to check with my husband. And then I think about it, and I be dang if he didn't say, will you stop saying that? I'm like, what? People know we're married. You don't have to say that. Like, say what? My husband. I said, I say that. Like, yeah, you say that all the time. You don't have to say that. People just say it one time. You ain't got to keep repeating it. They know who I am. I'm proud to call you my husband. Oh, okay.
Good morning, husband.
My husband.
You want something to eat,
husband? You want me to fix your
face? You want a glass of water, We need extra tissue,
That's how it was. Oh, that's funny. I have to. Can you go so and so? Do you want to do such a? Girl, let me check with my husband. That's okay. Don't even worry about it.
But I don't want to know. No. No H words for you.
If you got to do all that, she would be like, my friend, like, you got to do all that. Don't even worry about it.
So now I'm calling him. His name is Tim. Tim. Never mind. Just call him name.
That's my husband, honey. I have to see if he okay with that, cause you know, oh honey, and my best friend, I had another best friend.
I vomit in my mouth.
No, I had another. My best friend, she passed away about when did she die? 2016. My best friend then, and around that time we had, you know, she died. Let's see. We had gotten married, and then later on toward the end of the year, my friend passed away. She had a heart attack, and so I told her. I said one day she was talking to me, and she's like, "We haven't had a girls' day in a long time since you got married, since you got in a relationship. You just don't go out no more. We need to go do something." I was like, okay, where you want to go? Let's go Friday. Oh, wait. Girl, I got to check with my husband and see what?
Hey, bitch, I will punch you in the throat.
Girl, forget it. You're like, girl, you got to do what? I said, girl, I got to check with my husband first, because he said that you got to check with a man before you do something? What is my friend? What is that sassy-ass friend of mine? What? Because this is not her. What has he done? Oh, my God.
I wish I could tell people that, and they almost believe it. Because I tried to use that as an excuse one time for not going somewhere with the girl. And I told my best friend, and she was like, "You lying bitch. You just don't want to go. Because you would never say nothing like that." I'm like, what? I said, "You lying bitch. You just don't want to go. You don't leave the house." I'm like, why I can't have a man? Even if you got a man, you still would go. Just to be spiteful. Like, excuse me, shit.
I know it.
Well, that's a friend. They call you on your stuff.
Yes. I have one that calls me on my stuff now. And I'm like, you got to be special to me to chin check me, get off in my ass like that. I mean, my God. You just, one day she just got out, like, I was sitting in here, and I was having the biggest pity party, and she's like, bitch, stop. I was like, but I'm crying. Don't you hear me crying? Yes, I hear you crying, but, girl, I am not moved by them tears, because let me tell you something. Yes, he may have passed away. Yes, girl, but let me tell you something. That nigga love your yesterday draw, girl. Shut up. You don't even realize. Bitch, I'm not feeling sorry for you. Girl, keep on crying. But I am not feeling sorry. Well, damn. My God. Why would you say that like that to me? You know, just flabbergasted.
My friend Pat was like, one time my friend Pat be like, "Look, Eric, I'm sorry. Okay, I tried to say everything I could to make you feel better, and it's not working, so I have to go." I'm like, what? I was upset and hurt. I'm sorry. I've tried everything that I could possibly say to you.
Yes.
I mean, that's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. I apologize to you for being sad. I'm sorry.
Right. Like, damn.
That does knock you back to your senses, though. Like, man, what the fuck am I upset about?
It does. It really,
everyone needs a friend like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have something to think about. Once you think about how small your stuff is, that you can get over it, there are solutions. It takes to the lot, it takes it back a lot.
Yeah, it really does.
You're going to miss that person, but think about the good things, what they're leaving behind in this world. Like, this world is going to shit right now because people don't want to work together. You're away from that. That person is away from that pain, away from that anger, away from that sickness. Be happy for them, you know. And I'll see you soon. Yeah. I will see you soon.
Yeah, you definitely have to take that point of view and look at it. But it takes you a minute to get there. I ain't going to lie now.
It does. It does.
It takes a minute
I still have a problem with sickness and death. And, you know, you just got to try to be there. If you know you've done everything you can for that person, I've learned that it's okay. If you leave this world, I know I've done everything for you. And I've left for my funeral, I'm leaving instructions. My best friends will walk around the room and everybody who I know that they never met before and I ain't never said shit about, don't you cry at my funeral? Suck that shit up. You ain't seen her in 20 years. Like that bitch right there. Right there. You know she ain't been nowhere. You ain't never heard me talk about her. Don't cry.
That's what I'm saying too. I mean, I am definitely, I mean, I'm not claiming anything, but I am putting those instructions away and I've roped them out because I know what I want and I don't want people giving me bullshit that I don't want. And I done told my friend, I'm like, I want all y'all, for whoever wants to smoke one, I want all y'all to be out there light up them damn trees. And for those that don't smoke, get your ass some of them Delta 8 gummies and some CBD and just zone the fuck out. Okay? Because
there you go.
That's what your girl been doing.
I'm going to be right there watching. I'm watching all the fake tears and shit, and I be laughing at shit that I wrote on my obituary to make people laugh. He said, fuck all y'all. You have to read all this. Read all this shit.
3 times.
And my emoji. All this shit. He said, fuck all y'all haters.
Kiss my ass.
Kiss her fat black ass.
Kiss my entire ass.
Exactly.
All to the crack part. The top crack is fake when it's sweat. All that. Kiss all that.
Here's my house.
He said, lick her booty hole 3 times. I can't read it. My other
and like you said, Swing, if I ain't never talking about this bitch, don't let her in.
Don't let her in. You do not pass. Show me a picture of you together. If you ain't got no picture of y'all together, you cannot come in.
No. Well, I knew her. And if they in the same time that I grew up in, and they talking about, we was best friends in school.
No. If you don't got one good up-to-date story from 3 years ago, you're not welcome here.
Exactly.
Amen.
She ain't like nobody. She ain't probably like nobody, so we know who she likes. She had no friends. If you ain't on the family list, you're not welcome.
Exactly.
And look, Victoria got to give a long speech. JigglyPuff got to give a long speech. That was my bitch. And they got to start with, that was my bitch.
Exactly. No.
I want an invitation to all y'all's wakes.
I want a real ass funeral. This is going to be a real ass funeral.
Exactly. And I want some big girls to sashay down the line. Don't be playing all that nasty. I want y'all to wobble. I want y'all to wobble down. Yes, honey. Yes.
Hey, that's my bitch. Hell yeah, that's my bitch. Hell yeah.
Exactly. Exactly what I want. It's gonna be a party. I ain't none of all that.
Everybody you hook up, you want to look. I'm gonna put right down everything I always want to say to people that I didn't say when I was alive. Your dick was small. She said your sex was bad. Your shit stinks. That's what she said. It's right. I'm just saying what she said on this paper. This is everything she said.
That's what she said. I don't know. I don't even know you.
I never liked you
my
anyway.
friend Erica going right along with that.
I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And she got on my damn nerves.
Yeah. So fake ass.
And the fake ass hoes get the fuck out.
Exactly.
And sprinkle some weed in my ashes. I can get high in my ashes.
Yeah. That's what I said too. Cause I want to be cremated too. Fuck it, hey.
Get some weed and look with one of my best weeds. I want to be cremated with all that shit on. My best weed. 3 bottles of my favorite perfumes. All that shit. I want all that shit.
Exactly.
It can fit in that bag. And my baby doll. We all going together.
Oh my goodness.
Put a Jolly Ranchers on top, just in case. So when I get the munchies, put some Jolly Ranchers and popcorn on top.
You did not say Jolly Ranchers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
On my birthday, just stick a blunt down in there on my birthday.
That's what I'm talking about.
Smoke one for me. Just, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And please don't be pouring out no liquor for me, because that's just being wasted.
I want no liquor. I can't drink it. And we're making no mud pies. I shit that my ashes is hard as hell. Nuh-uh. If you knew me better, you know I can't drink. Just dab the blunt out. Just dab the blood out and find on my grave. And I want no t-shirt with my face on it. Because you wear that t-shirt, the face get all cracked up. No. Your face whole your eye cracked out. They're still wearing that t-shirt. No.
Yeah.
It's over now. It's over.
Let that
shit go. No.
Oh my God.
Please don't do
These
that.
are things that I do not want at my funeral. I better not see none of this shit. My ghost gonna really come out on you for 6 days.
Oh.
A bad. It's gonna be ugly. Take that shit out.
I'm not doing that.
And no
Please
club
don't
dresses at my funeral. Look, no club dresses at my funeral.
Please don't.
If I see one club dress, one pair of booty shorts, it's gonna be over. You gonna shut the whole thing down.
Or them clear ass damn high heel, them clear sandals.
Oh Lord.
No.
Yes.
No.
Take that stripper wear on back somewhere.
And no wife beater at my funeral. I want no wife beater. Just like you coming
Girl.
Because I've seen it. I'm like, really? Can you look presentable at your grandma's funeral? No.
Oh.
And I'm not having no funeral service important enough to fall over my grave. Don't do that either. Don't do that. You ain't love me that much.
Exactly.
I don't know nobody that loves you that much that came in my house. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Just slap her with a fan. Hey, bitch, shut the fuck up.
And make sure
I ain't never heard you with that
hang on it.
None of that.
Oh, my stomach.
But no, I may have one professional crier there. I may have one professional crier. People who don't know you can just come cry at your funeral. She was a good one. She was a good girl. She was a woman.
Good and terrible. Tell the truth about my ass. Like,
right?
Honey.
Lying heifer.
Yeah, like, ooh, honey.
Like,
she was
told
good.
a couple of my boyfriends, but she was a good friend later. That Davy stole out of Walmart. Tell all my business. It was just, she was a phone hoe, but she was a good one. She took her titties out on the internet, but she paid her bill. She had one blowjob video, but she got the rent. Like, what? It's a lot of things we know about Eric. Yep. It's a lot of things, right?
You're going to learn something today.
Exactly.
My booty short pictures up. Go put the people that had a film strips on there with videos. They gonna put my whole page screen up with me sucking dick and everything on there.
Oh, no.
He did the damn thing. Look at him put that dick. He did the damn thing.
You were working.
She put the work in on that one.
Oh, boy.
It's gonna be a funeral to remember.
Yes. So, okay, we ran out of time. We are.
So this is why Max picked me, so we could have fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good show.
It's a good sing-off.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. So I think we did him proud. What you think, Swing?
Yes, he'll be very proud.
I think he will too.
So.
Okay, what we got coming up next? Oh, we're going to do a relationship show. Swing and I are going to be doing a relationship panel show. So look, y'all need to stop playing scared, okay? If you in your 20s, your late 20s, because we don't want to deal with y'all at 21-year-old, 25. We ain't talking to y'all. But if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, in your 40s and your 50s, and you out here trying to get your back broke, or you out here breaking backs, dude, hit me up. We want you on the show. We want to talk about some things. We want to get the discussion going about relationships in this year of 2023. We got some questions to ask. It's going to be an open forum. We're going to ask some questions of each other, men. We want men and women. Men, you ask us some questions. Ladies, we're going to ask these men some questions. And we're just going to have a good time. Now, if you don't have a sense of humor and you can't laugh at some shit, don't come calling me. Because I will cuss your ass out on air. I learned from the best. Maxx Rice will cuss your ass out on air, and so will I, okay? So don't play them games. If you ain't got enough ego to play around and just chill out a little bit and have some fun, don't email me talking that shit. If you one of them dudes talking about, I want my woman to submit, suck my dick and cook my food, please pass me by.
I hope we do get a call. I hope we do get one now.
Woo!
So those are the ones I love to talk to and figure out what's going on with their brains.
Nothing.
What are you doing to make me do this? Suck your dick while I'm cooking a sausage.
Well,
let me know.
Well. So, if you want to be on our relationship panel, please email me at tastycake 7742 at gmail.com and put in reference to relationship panel so I know that you're not just some weirdo emailing me. That go for women too, because it be some weird ass women be trying to get my cookie. I can't do that.
They want to taste the cake.
Yeah, because I'm a tasty cake. She want to taste my cake. I can't. No, thanks. Appreciate it.
It's only a specialty cake. I don't get on specialty cakes like that.
No. Can't do that. And also, I have a show coming up. We're going to be talking about cancer. Yeah, we are. So I am going to interview, it's an organization here, a community-based organization here in my town called Cancer Navigators. I am going to get them. First, we got to see if the women in the organization in the office are able to clear to talk on air about things. But we're going to talk to them about what cancer navigators do, how they do, why they do what they do, and how it benefits, because it's not just for women, it's for men. It's a community cancer organization. And I'm just going to give my own experience through Cancer Navigators, because I've been with Cancer Navigators since April of 2022. And they've really helped me. So I want people to understand. So if you are diagnosed with cancer, it's not a death sentence. I know it may feel like that, and that's okay. You feel what the hell you feel. I understand. Been there, done that, still doing it. But know that when you wake up and you get up, there are organizations and there are people out there that are wanting and willing to help you. Take the help. And I am speaking this to the people in my community, the black people in my community, black women, black men, especially black women that are suffering from breast cancer. Baby, don't do this shit by yourself. You don't have to do it alone, okay? It's help out there for us. Put that damn strong black woman moniker down and realize that it's okay. You need help. And there are people and organizations that are willing to help you. You just got to know where they are, first of all, and you got to ask for it. So those are 2 shows that are coming up on Night Talks with Sasha. I told you, I'm bringing the heat. All 2020.
Very much needed show.
Yes. Bringing the motherfucking heat. So, do what you do. I want to thank Beauty. Thank you for coming on. I love you, Mama.
Thank you for having me. I love you too.
And Miss JigglyPuff, thank you, Ma, for coming. And we got to do this again, y'all. Swing, as always, you my girl. So,
thank you. And I will be here.
This is a damn good show. I'm glad that we got the chance to this. I feel good about it. And, my baby's happy. I feel it. He's proud of me. And I always wanted to make him proud. Oh, so sweet. But thank you all for tuning in to Remembering Maxx Rice. I am your girl, your diva, Sasha. This is my co-host, Mrz Swing. Don't forget it, okay? We are going to double team that ass. Okay. Whew. I had a moment. So, again, if you want to be on the show, I hate repeating myself, but if you want to be on the show, let me know. Now, if I got to go out here picking people, I'm going to pick people that I want, and they may not be the people that you want to hear from. You got a person to ask?
I got a person, Franny. Her name's Franny. She will be awesome.
Okay, great.
She will fit in just fine.
So far, I got 2 men that I know that'll be open to answering those questions.
I think I may have one guy. He's very. We debate a lot about relationship stuff because he feels like he's a relationship person, but he's not really a relationship person. But he doesn't know he's not a relationship person. So I'm just going to present him. He's very eloquent, but he's not a relationship person. Just hearing him talk, you'll know you're not a relationship person. You're not. You're a single person who just doesn't like to be alone. But he doesn't know that though.
Oh, so he needs to be.
Yeah, he's one of those people. Yeah, that you are not really a relationship person. You just don't know it.
Yeah, you're not relationship material.
Yeah, you're not, because you just like to be. You like to be on the road. He was married to his wife for I don't know how long, but he was on the road more. He just loved to be on the road. He just loved to be on the road, and he'll go home for a little while, but he always gets job on the road. I'm like, how's your marriage even lasting? You got a big ass house that you don't never go to. You let her family move in. You're not really a relationship person. And he wanted to marry me when he was in Kuwait because he doesn't like to be alone. I was not the first person he proposed to, and I knew that. I'll pay for your this. I'll pay for your trip over here to Kuwait. I'm not going to go no hot ass Kuwait just because you're lonely.
Girl.
And he's a truck driver. Come on the road with him for 6 weeks while your wife at home in the big house. You're not relationship material, sir.
Yeah, see, and
yeah, I'm trying to get him, y'all.
Okay, because there are a lot of men, like, there's one that I'm conversing with. That's all. Because first of all, he in Chicago, so I ain't trying to go to Chicago. It's cold, and he young. He 29. I ain't trying to. But I want to play with him though. Like, I want to play with him.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I told him, like, I want a companion. Like, I'm at that age. I'm 45, baby. I know what it's like to be married. I'm not trying to marry you. I don't know if I want to be married again. I don't know if I want to do that. So I want companionship. I want to, and then it was
most
one.
I believe it.
Yeah, and it was one, and like I'm talking to him, and I was telling him the other day, he's like, "Oh no, you don't want this. You scared." I'm like, "I'm scared of what? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "How am I scared?"
I've seen dick before, and I had dick before. What's so terrifying about this?
Yeah,
tell it.
And if I was so scared, why would I come on to you first?
They don't believe that shit. They don't believe it. They feel like their dick's gonna be the one that's gonna turn you. No, I've seen them all. Can your dick shoot out gold? Then I'm gonna kidnap your ass then, because I need that gold come.
Exactly.
Like everybody else, no, sir.
Yeah, I can send that. But
can it sing while it's up in my pussy?
Ooh.
Is your tongue magnificent and magical?
Ooh. It might be.
But that's most of the dick that disappoint you. The ones that brag, this is the dick that disappoint you.
Real talk.
And I ain't finna have my critics mad at me on the way home.
I know
like, you told me doing something. Told me.
The cookie be all throbbing and sloppy toppy and all that shit, and then it's like and then she let you for the rest of the day.
It don't even work no more. I can't even pee right.
Shit is crazy.
You said we were going to do something. I thought we was, okay? I thought he said something.
Oh, I'm going to give you this dick. Oh, okay.
That should make you want to file charges. He lied to me, Judge Mathis. He told me that it was going to be something great. Judge, Your Honor.
False advertisement.
Contempt of court.
You're my new best friend.
Like, bitch, what? He said it was going to be 3 hours, Your Honor, but it was 16 minutes and he got mad. I was mad too, Your Honor.
Is he a dope fiend?
I had to go to couples therapy.
You know that's what Judge Mathis gonna ask if he was a dope fiend. That's why White couldn't laugh.
Yeah.
I need pain and suffering because I hadn't had sex in 6 months, and he promised me all these fireworks. It was a match, a wet match, Your Honor.
You know, it always reminds me of that part in the Clumps where Grandma Clump talk about the steady. Your noodle reminds me of this steady Cletus, you know? Anyway, let's all go.
This is the kind of stuff we talk about.
Yeah,
this is our stuff.
We need a blooper reel. Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to edit this shit out.
You got some work ahead of you.
Don't take away from the authenticity of the show.
Right?
The authenticity.
I'm gonna have to go and edit a little bit. So before I broadcast.
Look, my fans expecting your fuck, come, and shit like at least 12 times so they know what it really means.
Oh.
So I gotta say fuck, come, and shit a lot. Yep, that's her. That's her right there.
All right, ladies, this has been wonderful, but I do have to go.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
having me.
It.
Thank you for having me. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Call me later, Sasha, and I'm going to let you know when I talk to my people.
Okay, and I'm going to work on it. So, y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. I have no other words of wisdom for you out there, Sasha Land gang people. So, just do you. Wear a condom.
And my final words are get as much dick as possible.
Yeah, and wear a condom. We got enough.
And wear condom first.
Yeah. You know, you got that super gonorrhea bug that's rolling around. Oh, my God.
No telling.
It is. But anyway, that's a whole nother episode. So, have a good night. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye-bye.